when cosplay goes horribly wrong.
Just me, or is it getting crazier out there?
Always catches me off guard. Hey everybody, welcome to Late Late Horror Show.
Group.
I am Dino, and that is
Ted Rico.
Yeah, as usual. And we are.
It's another goddamn Tuesday.
Yeah, lots of storms here in Cleveland area.
I saw some kick-ass lightning on my way home from work today.
Yeah, all the way across the sky, miles and miles and miles of lightning.
From Ride the Lightning to Fade to Black.
There you go, to Fade the Black. Interesting movie for sure. Crypt, Edward, 83 Devil Dog, welcome to the chat and the live stream. Tom O, Jimmy D, Jeffrey. Hi everyone. What's going on, Jeffrey? Haven't seen you here, but welcome.
What are you doing in my apartment, Jeffrey Beaumont?
Dave Plouffe. Hey. What's going on? Connie Clary, Sinead.
It's real. Hey.
Racing Automotive Engineering. What is going on, my friend? Lynn, Jill, JLR, Connie, Jimmy D. You guys all know who you are.
If the camera's really good, everyone will be able to see my peeling skin from my sunburn.
Yeah. Ted's.
I'm like that guy in that movie.
But yeah, hey, welcome everybody for joining us.
You want to pick some?
We do. No, that's all right.
Come
I
on,
don't want
man.
to pick your skin.
It's awesome.
But we do this every Tuesday night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And we talk movies, horror movies, usually, most of the time, 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. We have fun. We chat with you in chat there. William Curie, what's going on? Nice to see you. If I see anything standing out here, if we got questions or anything else, please feel free. Towards the end of the show, if we got time, most certainly we'll look for questions in the chat. And if you have the air going on there, it's going to go on. You know, it is what it is. But we are going to do today. LOL Ted, the star of the movie tonight, was in a Cosby mystery.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this actor's been in tons of stuff. Actually, even some award-winning
Dave
films.
the Rave. Who am I? Where am I? And how did I get here? Well,
it's
nice
A&O
that you're
times
there.
0.
Are you talking Dennis Christopher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tons of stuff.
Well,
That's what
hold
I'm saying.
Well, okay, we're doing Fade to Black, 1980. Director, writer Vernon Zimmerman. It stars Dennis Christopher, Tim Thomerson, Full Moon, Dowman.
Almost unrecognizable.
Gwen Guilford, yeah. I'd say so. Tim Thomerson, very hard to recognize.
At least from what you're used to him looking like.
Linda Carriage, who does a great Marilyn Monroe.
This was the third time
Yeah.
she played Marilyn Monroe in a film.
Yeah.
This film.
Third
Damn,
time.
she does look like her.
But didn't really do anything else, really.
Not a whole
after
lot.
this.
Nothing noteworthy.
A few movies. But also producer Erwin LeBlanc.
Hey, hang on, man.
What? Oh.
We're forgetting the Mick.
What?
Mickey Rourke.
Oh, no, yeah, we're going to get to that.
Mickey Rourke, his second film.
Second film, Mickey Rourke. And I'll tell you what.
And if you're only used to him from The Wrestler, well, this is like when he was good looking. So, before he got his face beat in.
Mickey Rourke, man. Pope of Greenwich Village.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Mickey Rourke is a fantastic actor to me. It's a shame what's going on with the whole... his face and the Botox thing. It
worked for The Wrestler, though.
It's body dysmorphia, and it is. And I feel sorry for him. It's
getting your face beat in the boxing.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That didn't help.
No, well, yeah, that's true too. A lot of boxing he did, but I tell you, Mickey Rourke in this movie kind of. Man, you give him the smallest role, and he stands out. Man, he was one of the good things in this movie, and
he had been the first one you mentioned. See, when I sent you this trailer, I'm like,
there's
nothing in here that Dino doesn't like.
No.
It ticked off like every box.
I know, and we'll get to everything in there. But Dennis Christopher, known for Breaking Away, which is a cycling movie, which I remember seeing as a kid. When I was an athlete as a kid, I really was into that. He was fighting for a spot in the Tour de France.
Right.
And
Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, like fantastic movie.
So the guy has been in some, and he's just an odd cat, man. He's just a weird cat, and you either dig his style or you don't. I mean, I didn't even realize that he'd been in Django Unchained.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, once Quentin knew he was going to get him, he kind of rewrote the part a little bit. And evidently, he's a huge fan. Like he told him on the set, I saw all your films the first week they were released. He's like, I love all your films.
Wow.
And most of you probably know him as Eddie Kaspbrak from the original Stephen King's It miniseries.
Right. Oh yeah. No, for sure. That's
probably the number one place most of you guys might recognize.
Edward Stewart, Fade to Black, October 17th, 1980, 1.8 million at the box office, 15 million gross. Not bad for the time. William Curry is here. How you doing, William? We're pulling him in with Fade to Black.
See.
But yeah, I was going to say too, Irwin LeBlanc, who was the producer for Halloween. Tourist Trap, Hell Night, and all three of those movie posters.
I was going to say, you see all of them.
Are on the wall in that, whatever is the dude was.
Well, I guess it's like a warehouse. There's different warehouses that lease out film prints and posters, lobby cards.
One Sean Bond, what's going on? Okay, let me take care of everybody here before we get started.
Pay the goddamn bills so I can get started.
Then we'll get into the movie, but
not the movie.
Hopefully the volume isn't way too high for you. It's going in the red, but anyways, I'd like to thank the channel members. A couple of those have to come out. I have to update it, but thank you guys for joining the channel. There's a little join button.
What do you mean
down
come
there.
out? People quit?
They're always coming. People come and go. But anyways, you can always join and help the channel, support the channel below. By hitting that join button.
Call them out. What are their names?
It gives you a secret group, the Discord group. I call it the secret group because everybody shares their pictures. Edward Stewart in the chat shared a lot of good stuff today.
Any sexy pictures?
And again, the channel members, level 3 support, top level, need a little bit of change in there. And the Patreons. There's a link, and all these links are down in the description. Goes to support us, helps. We got merch. Check the link below. I think somebody bought something today, but that kind of caved. I'm going to have to start making some new stuff, I guess. But there you go. Thanks everybody for supporting the show. And I know this is a little bit more of an obscure film.
That's what I like to pick out.
Although in the horror community, a lot of people have talked about this. It's pretty much about a cinephile. Somebody who loves cinema, who
it's
just
Tarantino before Tarantino,
right? Put yourself in the movie and wants to become that
psychotic Tarantino
actor. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's a little wacky anyway. But
you mean his character in the movie, right?
No, well, yeah, his character in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But hell, they've got Tim Thomerson. His last name's Moriarty. There's a Sherlock Holmes. There's a Sherlock Holmes poster in the room.
It's a huge tribute to
cinema.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah.
I've seen this film a couple times now, and I liked it more the second time than the first time because I was able to look for the little details. I knew the story.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the posters. I'm looking what's going on in the background.
Right.
I'm looking for little twist things, little nuances that I didn't see before.
Yeah.
And they're there. They're there, and maybe you didn't realize it because this is your first time watching it.
Okay.
So, first of all, it is certainly a film that is a love letter to 40s and 50s type of noir films.
Oh, James Cagney.
Right.
White Heat we'll eventually get to because, woo!
Kiss of Death.
Tell you, what an ending. But anyways, yeah.
Right. White Heat, Kiss. So many cool films are referenced. Or you see snippets of.
Yeah.
White Heat, Public Enemy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Horror of Dracula. Just a what's the Marilyn Monroe film? I can't remember. The Prince and something. I can't remember the name of it. But all kinds of films. And not only that, the walls are surrounded by movie posters and memorabilia.
Oh yeah, his room, his house, where he lives with his aunt. Who? Oh, I hear I'm jumping on you. You can continue to talk about.
I mean, the film starts. You hear James Cagney's voice from White Heat, and that's going to bookend with the end of the film, where the dialogue that he's repeating is from White Heat.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you haven't seen White Heat, well, just fucking shame on you.
Shame on. Yeah, I think most of these people in the group have seen White Heat.
Oh, let's hope so.
I would think.
There's
James Cagney classic.
Tim Thomerson plays a sort of, not a cop, but a social worker who's trying to get a program going to
odd character.
Snorting coke doesn't really play a huge part in the movie.
No,
I mean it's there. It's a little side story. This
movie
happens and ends the way it does, whether he's in it or not.
Yeah,
but he's trying to,
It's pretty much all the Dennis Christopher movie, the show.
Yeah, it's Tim Thomerson's character is sort of he's trying to kids are getting their minds polluted by the entertainment today and everything like that, not realizing that the main character in this film, Eric Binford, is being tainted by films
of the world, Ma!
that were made in the 40s.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you do about those movies? No one's talking about the violence in those movies.
Sure.
They're talking all about these films today and everything.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the director's way of saying, well, yeah, look at all this cool shit that happened before, and you're talking about the movies of today warping kids' minds.
Oh,
all right?
yeah.
Look at the stuff we had to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing old ladies down the stairs in wheelchairs, and films like Psycho, and
right.
it's such a...
It's a cliche.
Those films were just men being very misogynistic.
Yeah.
All right. There's even a great scene from Public Enemy. You've all seen it, where he takes the grapefruit and smashes it
oh God, what's her name? Oh, I can't.
Jean Harlow, I think.
Yeah.
In her face,
Harlow.
and he's sitting at the breakfast table with his aunt, and she's riding him because she's sort of like the wicked stepmother sort of character, and. He's holding it in his hand. He's quoting the movie.
Yeah.
And you could tell she gets it. She knows what might be coming. And, it's a guy who's kind of... This character, Eric Binford, is abused. He's withdrawn. He's obviously withdrawn into films.
Well, let me say this. I don't think they really get into... why he is the way he is.
He's a loner. He's
a loner. I think
he's just retreated into movies.
His mother, I think, passed away, and his aunt is kind of keeping him there,
and
giving him a
habitually
place
blames him for all her misfortune.
Right, because she wants to be a big movie star and everything else.
Or a dancer or something like that.
Yeah.
Now let's just get it out of the way now. We'll find out later on that the aunt is actually his mother, but just never told him.
Right.
It makes no difference. In the story.
And it's a very perverse. This movie can be dark. It's very dark at times.
Oh yeah, she wanted her massage.
She wanted a massage from her son. Mm-hmm. And Justin says, having worked in the live television broadcast industry for many years, I love the title, Fade to Black. Fantastic title.
Really?
Love it too. Edward Stewart, love the shower scene dressed as Dracula Marilyn, showering the music of Psycho. He says, I only wanted your autograph. And the ink falls over and it goes on to saying it's black with the swirl.
And the thing is, if you don't know your classic movies, and you're just coming at this because you thought maybe it was a horror film or a slasher film.
Right.
I mean, it's got some horror elements to it, but it's more than that. And...
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm not going to go out and say it's a fantastic movie. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's not... I'm not even going to say it's underrated. I think it's just underseen.
Oh, yeah.
Or underappreciated. It's just a big... I think it probably missed the target audience. A lot of teen kids probably went to go see this movie, and it was not what you were expecting.
Before we did
Based on the
this...
trailer.
Yeah, before we did this, I didn't know about this film, really. And shame on me.
Like a lot of movies.
Shame on me, some slip through the little cracks, and this one does. Dave Plouffe says, but I think it is pretty cool to think in the 80s it was 40 years in the past, the same now in 2020 is 40 years from the 80s movies for the same perspective. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, Dave, you say that because I love so many of the 40s movies. I love so many of the 80s movies. It's like you go 40s, you know what I mean? So, who knows? But
and he's just...
Phil's Creepy Videos. What is going on, Phil? Nice to see you here, bud. But yeah, no, this
and he seems like it's those types of films that he's most obsessed with. He knows all films, but he loves those noir films. Matter of fact, it even starts. White heat's on. He's watching it on this little weird kind of TV. And he's reciting.
Oh, you gotta love those little TVs back in the day, man.
And he's doing
4x4 screens
that I did.
Yeah.
Whenever you got that new TV guide, going through, looking to see what was on, circle what you knew you were going to watch. It's oh man, this is on. Oh, but this is on at the same time. You got to pick which one you want to watch. Wasn't like it was. You didn't have a TiVo where you could record one and watch one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you had to make choices.
Yeah.
Right.
And an homage to movie lovers like us. Yeah. Who did that back in the day?
Because that's where I always looked. Saturday afternoons, what's on? Friday nights, Saturday nights, what's on?
Yeah.
It's Channel 43 doing a Planet of the Apes week. Like
I remember always looking at the late show. It was the one thing I always went to go
cable,
check.
Some of the cable stations.
Like
USA especially would show
I don't think
some good ones at night.
Don't think we had the luxury of cable when it first came out.
It was a little while before we got it.
It took a while.
It was a little while.
But yeah, no, it's.
I think we had a VCR before we had cable.
Oh, really? Yeah, no.
We might have had a beta before we had cable.
Damn, I don't even think we had a VCR.
Well, see, because my dad loved, stuff like the silent films and the Stooges and Laurel and Hardy, and we would record those.
Oh well, yeah.
Once in a while,
you had somebody who loved that kind of stuff.
So we collected those things.
But
even like MTV music videos, we would record all our favorite videos and stuff.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Back when some videos were actually creative and good.
Yep.
So it starts off like that. He gets hounded by his aunt, the part I talked about at breakfast, and then he's going to go off to his shit job. I'm sorry.
Right, and we'll start off with that. In film, a fade to black is used to symbolize completion, meaning a narrative thought is finished. Practical level typically means fading to black at the end of a dramatic scene. 100% Edward Stewart, Connie Clary, Superhost.
Which is what the film does.
Connie Clary, Sinead. These are people that are right here in Cleveland.
Awesome guys,
They know Superhost and all that. Brian Kirkham, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you. Dino and Ted, how are the men of the hour doing? Terrence M. Ritchie, we are doing good. We are talking about film and old horror movies, old classics, which we love. And this movie is just, you know what? It's like you throw all of that on the walls like paint. It's all over this movie. Like you were getting to. Eric Benford kind of goes and he works at this production company where they have film reels, stuff like that. They slice things up.
They probably distribute prints of films to theaters that might want to show something. There's companies that they have like the posters and things like that, and
I want the posters.
That's like if you know somebody who works in places like that, you can get that stuff.
Oh, hell
back
in the day. Now they'd go, I'm going to sell that on eBay.
Forget about it.
That's money. That's moolah in the bank.
But back in the day when nobody wanted these things, except nerds like us.
Well, I worked at the little, video store with the VHSs when I was very much younger, and when the movies come in they give you the whole roll of like movie posters to put on the wall and stuff like that. So I couldn't tell you how many movie posters I got and just put up on the wall as a kid.
And some of them you don't even put up on the wall probably.
I
wasn't room for all of them. I'm sure.
Right, tons. I wish I would have stayed there longer just to get more of those movies posters because
should have had an in there.
Oh my God! But it was fantastic.
Date the Boss or something like that.
Yeah. So he works kind of for an a-hole.
Yeah, his boss
was about ready to have a heart attack.
Looks like he's always popping nitroglycerin tablets.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's face it.
Up,
Eric Binford is a screw up.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like he does a particularly good job. He knows everything about movies. He's constantly picked on by people like Mickey Rourke's character, whose name's Richie in the movie. And once in a great while, when Eric's knowledge of films can come into play, he's such an annoying prick.
Oh, he is. When he's doing the lines and talking like this.
Right, or when he challenges them to a trivia question about Casablanca, and Richie says, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
I know it back and forth. There's nothing.
I've seen it 40 times.
Right,
man.
and he says, okay, what was Rick's last name?
Terrible Mickey Rourke.
And he says it's not. He's like, it's not in the script. It's not anyway. It's like it's in the movie. And when the 2 days go by, whatever, they don't cough up the cash, you know?
No.
They just want to kick his ass and punch his face in several times.
Well, Eric Bradford, he goes, it's been a week, man.
Yeah.
It's like, he's one of those.
So he's an annoying
he's
prick like that. Not really any friends.
No.
It looks like he spends most of his day where he's supposed to be making deliveries. Looks like he's either going to movies, going to restaurants, driving around. He's not doing his job.
No, his whole life revolves around movies. He's a dreamer who believes, I don't know what he believes. He wants to watch his movies. He wants to collect memorabilia, and his dream actually is to open up his own movie theater and play whatever movie he wants anytime, which was a dream we've had too.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it.
I mean, hell, it's still a dream, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Nobody would come see the movies we want to show.
No.
I mean, maybe some of you guys would.
I mean, I think
And
they might, but
he's
Schultzy, what's going on?
Hey, we got and obviously, rightfully so, he's just got a huge thing for Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, which leads us right into, and I like the Vespa that he's able to ride around in.
I was just thinking, I'd love to get a Vespa.
Yeah,
even before I watched this.
Yeah.
My kids saw it in that new Disney movie, I think. Luca. They watched that, and I was like, those are kind of cool.
They are.
Not the one that was in the movie because it was beat to shit. But, I mean...
those are worth a lot of money. And
the vintage ones. I mean, you can buy...
Italy and so,
There's all kinds of different types, so...
Yeah.
You can get them cheap, you can get them expensive. But it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but very cool. But
See us riding down the street.
Yeah, on her cool Vespas,
Yes.
Anyways.
And... so he goes to a diner.
You geeks, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
He goes to a diner and he meets a couple girls. One's sort of a wannabe model, a Marilyn Monroe dynamite lookalike.
Yes.
Actually, she looks a little bit like a cross between Marilyn Monroe and Debbie Harry from Blondie.
Yeah. Which there's a little trivia with Blondie.
With the music?
Yeah, the music was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, was going to be done by that band, but ended up not. They said screw it. But
oh wow, see.
But he goes into a diner and they're sitting in there, and if he's
the friend's sort of like a tough cookie sort of one.
Yeah, and if he's not creepy in this scene in this diner.
Oh god, yeah, when he's inching closer, hopping seats.
Yes, this is kind of the quick downfall of his character in this movie. Even though you see bits and pieces of it, at the beginning. Whereas, at the beginning I was thinking, okay, I see where this movie's, going and all that. But then all of a sudden it does take kind of a dark turn. He becomes creepy and he sees her, the Marilyn Monroe character. And he inches.
And her name is Marilyn.
Right.
So
and inches his way down, giving this really creepy, perverted look at her.
He's not a handsome guy, but she kind of thinks he's a little cute.
He's like a skinny, uglier Roddy McDowell.
I'm kind of glad you said that because that was another little box that I was ticking off.
Yeah.
Is that he kind of reminds me of Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, he does.
And I was just...
Uglier,
I was going to wait and mention it
grungier.
later, but there you kind of said it for me.
There you go.
That's another little box I ticked off. See,
Linda Carriage. Yeah,
I was a little let down when at first you told me you weren't sure if you liked it, and I was just like, because there's nothing in this damn movie that you don't like. And
I watched.
I'm gonna turn you around.
I always watch the movies we do the night before, just to be fresh and stuff like that. This was my first watch. I was very tired, and it's by no means that I hate it, because when I started going through this,
there's more.
There's more to it, and you start to appreciate everything that the movie's about. Right. And again, when this part starts happening is when I really start getting engrossed. It's a downward spiral of this dude's character.
Maybe it happens and maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, not at this point.
I'm going to make a point here.
Yeah, okay, but go ahead.
So he kind of tantalizes her with a little bit of trivia related to Marilyn Monroe and a horror movie, and the answer was The Creature from the Black Lagoon. We get a couple little cool clips of the movie.
Haddonfield, 1988. Hey, bros, haven't seen you guys in forever. I don't even remember the name. But maybe you changed it, but I am glad you're here. And again, me and Ted have never stopped talking horror. We talk it every Tuesday night. We've been doing some obscure stuff lately. I think we're going to go into some Hammer stuff. We'll see.
Oh, really?
Well, you shot a few videos.
Oh, none of those were Hammer movies,
None of those were Hammers. I got to relook at them. But anyways, Yeah, every Tuesday night, man. I mean, But anyways,
groovy.
But we'll see. But anyways,
I was just giving them to you to watch.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to pick anything.
Carlos Seja. In those days, movies from Hollywood Golden Era were frequently broadcast on regular TV channels. Yes, they certainly were. And nice to see you here, Carlos. Be sure you hit that subscribe button and those little bell notifications. It's nice to see new people in here. But yeah, I think.
And that's even what he's doing at the beginning of the movie. He's looking at TV, going, "Okay, I should record that one." And he's deciding, what am I going to watch? What am I going to record? What am I going to keep? It almost looks like he's recording them on a camcorder.
He was Mr. Michael Myers. Yes. Okay. Of course, I know the name now. Haddonfield, 1988.
Ah, okay.
Justin. Yeah, and we did mention that about him playing in It.
That's about the only thing a lot of people know him from. But he's been in some really. Classy movies, and
Breaking Away was my first movie with him that I've seen.
And this
and
film,
then I think It, but yeah, go ahead.
He was nominated for a Saturn Award, which is sort of like the geeky awards. Yeah. But he was nominated for an award for his acting in this film.
Yeah.
And so, he's giving the girl a ride to her work, and they talk. He talks about the theater you mentioned, and asks her,
she's into him.
I guess so. She thinks
I like
he's sort
that
of,
kind of guy,
geeky chick or whatever. So they make a date for that evening to go to the movies. They're going to meet 9 o'clock, whatever, outside some movie theater. He's getting all gussied up. Asks his aunt/mom for a little bit of money. That's when she says, "Well, if I give you this," he's like at the usual rate of interest, which I guess means a little. Erotic massage.
Disgusting.
We don't know what happens behind those closed doors.
No, they never show anything like that. So,
and the unfortunate thing is, unintentionally.
Yeah.
All right. She's like I don't want to say a typical blonde, but she forgets about him and ends up going on a date with this other D-bag to a dinner.
Oh, the Marilyn. Her
and while she's there, she realizes, oh my God, I was supposed to meet this guy outside the movie theater. And in a really nice turn, she totally dumps this guy who's better looking, but obviously a douchebag.
Yeah.
And says, I gotta go. I've got to go meet somebody. And leaves and, keeps her word to go meet him. Yeah. But, he's out there, he's waiting, he's walking all around.
Oh, 3 hours. Why she would even
smoked a pack and a half of Lucky Strikes.
Why she would, right? Why she would even get up and go see if he was there after 3 hours, is beyond me. Either if he was there still waiting,
right, pretty
hard up, which he is, but he didn't wait there and not even the hard up would wait 3 hours.
That's a big thing because
her standing him up. Let me.
Sure.
Terrence M. Ritchie says, Ted, it's funny, and I don't know why it's funny, but it's funny to see your Superman shirt amongst all the horror memorabilia.
Ah, yes.
There's
my other Superman tank top, it hasn't disintegrated yet. It's getting there.
Deuce Volt 106. Wow, the whole set looks fantastic, guys. Thank you. Spread the word. Share the show.
Mm-hmm.
We have fun and hijinks galore every week.
We're hijinking.
We're hijinking. But yeah, no. So that's where the downward spiral goes.
And because she reminds him of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Monroe sort of encapsulates his entire fantasy.
Which is part of what his down. There's a scene we'll talk about very quickly here after that.
You're talking about the
yeah.
All right, and just to put it all together about how twisted this all is.
Yeah.
There is a scene later in the film. He's watching the original Halloween.
Yeah.
We hear it. I don't think they show any scenes from it. But
no,
we hear
but
it.
You hear it. Yes.
But he's laying on the bed, so he's watching Halloween, listening to Halloween.
Yeah.
He's looking at a poster of Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, so you're going to say it again? You're going to say it now?
And I'm just trying to illustrate something here.
Okay.
That he starts rubbing one out.
Okay.
And so you're putting all this twisted Jeffrey Dahmer kind of crap together.
Yes.
Of the lust for Marilyn Monroe, associating it with slasher film. And you wonder why he's going to go around and start killing people.
No.
So there's a little bit of what Tim Thomerson's character is talking about.
Yes, and there is a bit of serial killer. If you watch a lot of true crime and stuff like that,
he's going after people that have snubbed him. But
right. But there's a little bit of serial killer in his character, whether intentional or not. Because the first character who
That's just some weird psychology.
Yeah.
And that mixture can't be good.
and he kills the four people he kills. He's dressed up in character, which is first is the Dracula, which we'll talk about, and second is Hopalong Cassidy, James Cagney, and the Mummy. And with the first one, first of all, he's snubbed by a prostitute at the bus stop. So she's his
Snubbed
first
by a $10 whore.
a $10 whore, and that's going to be his first victim. And this is where it turns kind
It's
of
bad
dark.
when you can't even get a prostitute.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's looking for something with more money. Hey, $20 bill here, boy.
$20 holla.
You're out of here. Get lost. Yeah, he.
Well, after the pimp takes his cut, she's got like $250.
Yeah, so right, he snubs her and
She
snubs him, and so he comes back. He dresses himself all like Dracula. The big image that you see on the VHS tape.
We got to back up just a little because there's a point in between there.
Oh, where
the ant is just he's in his room.
Flustered,
he's watching a little 16 millimeter of a great film noir
Can't
called
forget that.
Kiss of Death with Richard Widmark, and it's the scene where the lady in the wheelchair is getting pushed down the stairs. The ant's banging on the door. She comes in here. She knocks his projector over. She starts effing up his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just going to get inspiration from that movie and boom, right out the front door down the steps. And somehow makes that look like an accident.
That's what well, you know what? It almost was filmed to look like an accident. You almost don't see him touch the chair at all, do you?
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking at him, like going, I don't think he touched that chair. And then when she went down the steps,
This is
I
where
don't
it's
think
getting
he did it.
to my point that there could be something else going on in this film where at a certain point this might all just turn into some dark fantasy of his.
Yeah.
That's not, and there's a few things in the movie to support that.
Okay.
So you've kind of named something there that maybe you saw.
Yeah.
And so after that, they have like that little funeral. And he dresses up like Richard Widmark's character in Kiss of Death.
Yeah.
And, he's starting to take on these personas.
Yeah.
He don't give a damn about this lady and, whatever. And
He's
he actually
becoming-
wanted her buried near Marilyn, the
Right.
ashes near Marilyn Monroe's grave.
Ends up taking her urn home.
Yeah, the
with
priest says,
ashes
take
in.
her home, kick it around
Take it,
for a
take it,
while.
yeah.
I love he puts a cigarette out in it.
He's like, I don't want her
He
around
burns
here.
all her crap.
Yeah.
He gets rid of all her healthy food. He just wants, like Fritos and Coca-Cola and Lucky Strikes, and that's enough for him.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's what he
It's
consumes.
funny that they were talking about Lucky Strikes and stuff in here, too.
Oh, really? Yeah. Lucky Strikes, baby. And again, that's like what they all smoked back then. So that's what he's smoking.
Hey, $10 was a lot of money in the 60s, says RTN. Yeah.
There was a lot in 1982, man. If I had new $10, I was feeling good.
Yeah, you go see a movie, get some...
Take a chick out on $10.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
heck yeah.
have some change left over.
Yeah. So
then
yeah.
we get to that point where he's starting to fracture, and you were talking about he's making himself up as Dracula.
Yeah, getting ready
and
to
this
go
is a
out.
cool scene because he's painting himself up, but half of it's Dracula, half of it's Eric. So it's like a little bit of him is still there, but the other half is creeping over into madness now.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool shot.
Oh, yeah.
And he dresses up like, I guess, it's not like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I guess people dress up to go see Night of the Living Dead.
I guess
He goes to a screening of Night of the Living
in
Dead.
the neighborhood he was in, yeah, they do. Yeah, so
I'm going to do that next time. Like when I take
Why
my kids
not?
to see, like the new Boss Baby movie. I'm just
You
gonna,
know, I wish there were nice little local theaters
I'm going to dress like Dracula.
that did that still. Because the big chains aren't going to do that. I mean, not at all. You're not going to get that.
No.
Let's see, $20 in the 80s lasted all day for me. Yeah,
All
heck
day
yeah.
long.
I miss arcades. Everybody going nostalgia on me. But yeah, so he goes to see the movie, and then after that, he starts to basically stalk this hooker.
Right.
And another scene where he's stalking her, and there's a chase sequence there.
Yeah, he's sort of chasing her down the street.
And it's not, he doesn't kill her. He chases her, and accidentally she trips and falls in the heels.
Boy.
And
What a fall.
Oh my God! And get staked through the neck, right?
On a white picket fence.
Yes, through the neck.
He takes a little taste of that blood.
And yeah, the disturbing serial killer part of him is like,
First, it's just a little dab.
Then he goes down and sucks the blood out of her
Suck
neck.
it.
And the other thing I liked during this sequence was, you should know, there were flashes of Dracula.
Yep, horror of Dracula. It's because they couldn't get the rights to the Bela Lugosi one.
The Christopher Lee Dracula.
Right.
Flashing up on the screen there.
He even had a poster. It was buried under a couple posters, but I recognized it.
Yeah.
For Hammer Films' The Mummy Shroud. Not the best mummy movie, but it was just...
Right.
I didn't notice that the first time, but see, like I said, I was watching the background for all kinds of...
there was
lots of cool posters.
Shit ton of movie posters up on the wall. And he talked about it quite a bit. But that was the first kill, okay?
Then he goes after Marilyn a little bit, She's taking a shower, and you could see it coming a mile away. You're like, this is going to be the Psycho scene. And it does, and he does. But he sort of chickens out and says, I just wanted your autograph! And drops the fountain pen in the shower, and then the ink gets that look of the blood swirl like in Psycho with Janet Leigh and Norm.
Yeah,
and,
a very
Anthony
cool
Perkins.
scene. Yeah.
So
Happy,
get a little
happy
bit of
birthday, suckers! A real live birthday card. Which one of you kids are responsible for this? That was classic. Yeah, that was when he went after his other victim, dressed as James Cagney.
And is this? I think this is the next guy, isn't it? Isn't this? He got the prostitute, and
there's
the next one.
Yeah, there's another guy who's supposed to help him out with.
He gets picked up.
Yeah,
he's hitchhiking, and he gets picked up by a movie producer or actor turned movie producer.
Yeah,
and he starts. Eric starts telling him about an idea for a movie.
Yeah.
And then we come to find...
And like always, he's like, oh, yeah, sounds good, man.
Call me up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, some time had to go by. Eric's walking around town, store where they sell TVs, and this producer's on there, and he's talking about his next picture, which is exactly the film that Eric Benford told him about.
You're right.
So he's excited at first. He's not pissed yet. Yeah. He's excited.
He calls him up.
And so here...
Yeah. Sorry, kid.
Is this a fantasy, or did this really happen? Because he says, maybe this is a little scene of reality. Maybe the drive in the car was a fantasy of his, and then in reality, when he actually calls the guy, he's like, I don't pick up hitchhikers. I don't know who you are. Maybe he's being a jerk. Yeah. Maybe it, and it did happen, or maybe it never did happen. But the next scene that happens really makes me think that there's some fantasy element to this. Because this producer, he's at the hair salon. It's his birthday. They're getting him ready to, give him all over. They're all kissing his ass.
And it seems like an imaginary
because Eric
sequence
pulls
of
up
events
in an old school car,
Yeah.
wearing a suit. Now, okay, the suit you could get.
Okay.
That kind of a vintage car for him would be a little hard to get. And he pulls up. He's got the violin case, opens it up, and there's the Tommy gun. I mean, just like, and he's slowly slipping. Like, he's even changed the name on his mailbox to C. Jarrett, Cody Jarrett. And that's what he says his name is when he walks in. And he's doing his best James Cagney impersonation, quoting the movie. Not great, but you know who he's trying to impersonate. Now, where the hell is he getting an operational Tommy gun and the ammunition?
No.
It kind of, first time I watched it, okay, I just figured he killed him. This time I'm watching, I'm like, maybe there's some fantasy going on here. Like, maybe this isn't actually happening.
You know what? I really...
Where's he going to get that stuff?
I really think you're onto something there. But you get...
I think there's some fantasy.
You get a couple deaths, though, that are real deaths, you think.
Maybe.
But then you get a couple of these sequences where, it seems imaginary.
Right, that certainly seems imaginary.
Yeah.
And then he's, like we were saying...
Haddonfield, 1988. Used to rent this flick from the Medina Library back in the 80s.
Damn, a library had it. Not bad.
And you're in Medina? You're in Ohio, too?
Funky cold Medina?
How is it that this channel in the chat has accumulated so many people from Ohio area? It just trips me out.
I don't know.
It's just fantastic. But anyways... Yeah, so
big Chuck and Little John of the internet,
right? So that's your second death, and your third death is really going to end up being Mickey Rourke's character, Richie, and he goes to the boardwalk, to pick up some chicks.
Cruising for coos.
Yeah.
And that's even what he said. They're playing games, and the guy's like, "Let's go play this game." He's like, "What are you playing game? Like, don't you want to get laid? What's the matter with you?"
Yeah. Oh, I love Mickey Rourke, man.
Come on, what's the matter
fantastic.
with you? And he wins like a little stuffed animal. He steals a big one. He's like, "Yeah, get rid of this little one, man. Chicks go crazy for this shit." He's big. I feel stupid carrying this big stuffed teddy bear around. He's like, man, chicks go nuts for that shit.
Man, sometimes you can just sit here. I could just sit here and just read the chat.
Huh?
I mean, all the facts and the stuff you guys are talking about are fantastic. But we're going to get through this movie, man.
All right.
Because at 11 o'clock tonight...
what are we doing?
We got the lineup. I'm not sure how many people have heard the lineup. It's an old-time radio show. It's very different than... It's in that noir kind of atmosphere. But it's police lineup. Then go solve the case, figure it out. Very cool show. I was listening to it today. This one is a good one. I also do apologize for I was trying to do way too many things last night. I just was losing it last night. I think I played it was My Favorite Husband, and 3 shows in a row were the same episode. And I kept skipping. I'm like, oh no, what am I doing here?
Get roasted.
Yeah, it was terrible. But anyways.
You dick.
But the lineup tonight at 11... You like your detective shows, this is tops, man. It's tops, man. But this is a show that's kind of underrated and not really out there as much as a lot of the other ones. But check it out, and I'll be there for you guys in an hour. So let's get through this movie, man.
Be back in an hour.
Okay, continue the
right.
Richie
so they're
on
the
boardwalk.
And they start to, maybe turn by an alley there, and they start hearing some noises.
Yeah.
It's like some spurs. And we also know that from previous that Eric is a big Hopalong Cassidy, William Boyd fan. He's even got the wristwatch.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Hoppy.
And I know Hopalong Cassidy because my dad is a huge cowboy fan.
Yeah.
And I think I've told the story before on...
Schultze, he knows.
Yep. When we got those VCRs early on.
Yeah.
And he would be at work. I think it was like, I forget what day of the week it was on. Maybe Saturday mornings or something like that.
Yeah.
I know, I would have to stop after a while and go watch Superhost. But maybe it was when we got cable.
Night Fright Talk Show. What's going on?
And certain Westerns would be on. I think it was when we got cable because
right.
some of those channels, like, I don't know, whatever, would show these old Westerns.
Right.
And not only that, but we had to cut the commercials out for him while he was at work.
Your dad put you guys to work.
This VCR didn't have a remote control.
Yeah.
All right. Later on, we got one, and all it was a pause button. That was the first, and it was wired. It was wired to the beta machine, and it was just pause, record.
So you had to sit there, man. Oh my God.
That was all it did. And I would have to sit on the coffee table, hit pause, and watch these not that Hopalong Cassidy was terrible.
It just wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing, but some of these Westerns were terrible. I remember like Range Riders, popping 85 shots out of that gun and everything.
Heck yeah,
man. But Hopalong Cassidy was a little bit different.
Hopalong Cassidy films were great B Westerns, RTN.
Gabby Hayes, and and he was the good guy that wore black.
Yep.
So there was that.
So Eric Benford kind of dressed up like that.
Right, even with cool face prosthetics.
Oh, it was a really, very freaky looking, very spooky, airy, whatever you want to call it. Coming down that thing all skinny looking and at Mickey Rourke. And you wonder, why is Mickey Rourke just hanging around? Yeah, because the other dude took off, and Mickey Rourke stayed there, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's a tough guy,
Yeah.
He figures he can handle himself. Hoppy kicks him over a gun, and I think his buddy says something like, it looks like he's calling you out.
Yeah.
And he picks up, and you could even see the little red paper caps.
Yeah.
Come on, remember that it was little papers? And had the little dots, and
yeah.
I love the smell of those when they pop.
For some reason.
I love that smell.
Yeah, reminds you when your childhood. Yeah.
And I still remember that smell. And
it'll never leave. Oh, yeah. I smell it as we're talking about it.
I know.
That
gunpowdery sort of smell.
Yep.
And, of course, Hoppy's got the real gun. blasts Richie away. He's like, why? I mean, I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't do nothing to you. And then finally, he lets the jig get up that, hey, this is Eric under here. He's like, hey,
I know,
son
Schultze.
of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. And just blows him away.
Blows him away,
man.
And the cops really, even though they are questioning people, they're, because of where he worked, they're questioning the people that work there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this Tim Thomerson Moriarty character's got a little bit of a beat on Binford because he's an odd character. There's really no evidence, to pin him to anything.
I was wondering why the cop and Tim Thomerson was kind of chasing him around, because I'm like going, in the movie, they technically aren't picking up clues, really.
No.
For, they just all of a sudden say, there's this quirky character, that works down at this place that I think,
But maybe because people have said he's really into movies and knows everything about movies, and these characters are being killed by people dressed as people in a movie.
But by no way of the imagination do they...
Right.
Does it, flow into...
In the real world, that would be a complete, circumstantial kind of case.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I guess you can win a circumstantial case.
Yeah, you can.
So we've got one more death to go.
Yeah.
And that's the boss.
The boss,
Dick of a boss.
Yeah, because he tells him, you're out of here. You're gone,
You can't talk to me like that. I'm Cody Jarrett.
I'm Cody Jarrett.
You can't talk to me. Yeah.
This is what I hate, hey?
And finally he says, forget it. It's too late. I quit. And he's out. And, he wanted to go in and get his stuff. And he said, no, if it's in the building, it's mine. Screw you. You're out. Eric kicks over the Vespa and walks away. So the guy
goes, damn you, and takes his nitroglycerin or whatever again before he has a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, because we heard that he's supposed to be having a surgery of some kind.
Yeah.
Maybe to clear out an artery or two. And so he's there late. Security guard says, hey, I'm going to go get a coffee.
Yeah.
And, he'll be back. And then we just start hearing a little noise. And this is a cool office because you see the Halloween poster, the tourist trap poster, all that.
Yep.
And this is a real... Eric's now going to...
It's like the producer, Erwin LeBlanc gave some of his props and stuff and said, hey, put it up on the film set.
Free publicity.
I'm producing.
Maybe somebody will watch Tourist Trap. And this is a really good mummy costume, I think.
Night, Connie. See you later.
We're losing one already? Well, have a good night.
Yeah, well, she'll be back for the Old Time Radio Show. But yeah, good night. Connie.
It's a real... He disguises himself as a mummy this time. And you hear him kind of...
dragging.
Do you notice all the water on the floor?
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
Why is there all this water on the floor with these film prints and things? That can't be good.
Well, that's probably why so many of them got lost.
We'll figure that
and are ruined.
Nice.
All these films and...
cans get all rusty.
I've listened to so many shows on old films and classic films, from Marx Brothers to Laurel and Hardy's to all those great...
one Laurel and Hardy that's lost. I wish we could find it.
Yeah.
It's lost. The one where it's sort of like the music box, but it's with a washing machine. It's called Hats Off.
Yeah.
And it only exists in stills.
Yeah.
I've got it in that form. But
and I love the stories.
London After Midnight, for God's sake.
Right. And I love how every now and then you'll hear a story of somebody passing away, and they find a pristine film print of something that's just fantastic. Yeah. It's, But anyway, so many films lost.
Maybe someone will die with that lost spider pit sequence from King Kong.
Maybe somebody will die. God. But yeah,
one can dream.
We got the mummy. He's the mummy,
and it's a great looking,
prosthetics,
better than like some mummy movies.
Yeah, I know.
And he's doing the cool walk, and
Monster Squad,
and basically just scares him to death.
Yeah,
and kicks his pills away. So again, doesn't really kill him. Mickey Rourke's not the only one he actually kills.
That's what I was.
And his aunt.
Well, even the aunt, I question because I think she rolled there on her own. I didn't see no pushing. I'd have to go rewatch that scene again.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not grabbing it off the top of my head.
But you are correct that Mickey Rourke is really the only one he ends up shooting, and how he got the gun, which
I guess a gun's easy enough to come by, but
I mean it lends
a Tommy gun. That's different.
Lends towards your thing of the imagination and
I got one more to go with
the
that
nightmare
too
sequence.
at the end.
But yeah, no. So we get to that. He goes and I think grabs what's her name's character, the Marilyn Monroe character.
Yeah, he kind of sets her up in a way. posts a big calls her up for a modeling job, and it's got this whole elaborate thing set with an office.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, maybe there's some insurance money from his aunt's death, but it just seems kind of elaborate the way he's got this office building and rented and all these sets and costumes and things like that. It's very dreamlike.
Right.
So he gets her up there. Even her friend comes up there just to make sure it looks legit. It looks legit. So she leaves.
Yeah.
And
it becomes this whole romantic interlude of him,
and it's
seducing her, and
it's based off a Marilyn Monroe film.
Yeah.
And he even drugs her a little bit just to have the fantasy be real.
Yeah.
You were talking about how
Matt Shuey, what's going on? Thanks, appreciate it.
How Moriarty and the I can't remember her name, the female cop, Chris Pine's mom.
Yeah. Chris Pine's mom.
Kirk's mom.
Yeah.
The fake Kirk.
Right.
Stacey? They're kind of following him out.
Oh, no.
And
Officer Ann. Just call her Ann.
Officer Ann.
Officer Ann.
And they're sort of following the clues and are putting two and two together with, what he changed his name on the mailbox to and all that bullshit.
Yep.
So they figure that all out, get out there.
This channel has become my go-to nighttime entertainment. Not only is the content stellar, but the community is awesome. 10 out of 10 amazing. Thank you, Matt Shuey. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoy these movie discussions on Tuesday and now Thursdays that we do.
Right. If anything, we've given you something to watch.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways.
So they get there.
Yeah.
A little bit of a shootout, ensues.
Right.
Eric escapes with Marilyn.
And let's not make the very climax of this movie, a very tiny thing. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. They go to Mann's Chinese theater.
Yep.
The most famous movie theater on the planet.
Right.
And the police show up, everything like that. Moriarty's going in alone, trying to talk to him because he keeps thinking, I can talk to him, I can talk him out of it.
Yeah. He goes up onto the...
And he's doing total Cody Jarrett kind of thing. He's taken on this persona, which is where the film began.
It's kind of a reenactment of the end of White Heat. But go ahead.
They get to the top of
the
building.
I love that.
And, it does sort of turn into White Heat. Standoff between the cops and Cody Jarrett on top of this building. And the reason I kind of call out the whole fantasy thing is because, finally the cops take their shot. He's quoting White Heat, top of the world.
I'll get to you, Brian.
And it's just really neat and bookended a little too nicely.
Yeah.
He gets to die the way that he would dream of dying.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cody Jarrett. If he had to die, if Eric Binford had to die,
and they were flashing,
that's how he'd want to die.
And they were flashing to
between the movie
and that.
And he even gets to, even though he gets shot a couple times, he gets to get up and say those famous lines before he falls. And in real life, it wouldn't have happened that way. That's the movie, not real life. And then the movie will fade to black. But that's what lends me to think on this viewing of the movie that there's a little bit more of a fantasy element in it. That maybe these things aren't really happening. Maybe they're just playing out in his mind, and there's little bits of reality in between.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cool that you can look at it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit more cooking in this movie than I originally thought.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's really fair to put it down so much. It's an obscure little... It's not even so much a horror film. It's just a different kind of movie. A real love letter to old school Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I love that you bring out something that I've never heard any other reviewer or any other person that talked about this movie even mention or talk about. And
it's from watching it more than once.
Yeah, I mean, it 100% can be that. And especially with the deaths that, total fantasies, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
he got to die exactly the way he would have dreamed to die.
Yes.
And in reality, you get shot in the gut a couple times, you're not going to be doing much talking.
No.
And he falls off the building. It's a big graceful fall.
The Vagrancy horror short stories. What's going on? Sorry you're late. What I missed?
The whole show.
The whole show. We just talked about the entire movie Fade to Black.
I literally just finished.
If you're not on time, no, you need a slip from your mother.
Yeah, now you need an excuse note.
Brian Kirkham asked what the figure is. I think you're talking right there in the orange jumpsuit. That is actually a McFarlane toy back in the 80s.
Remember we used to, or 90s.
Or no, not 90s. Not
Remember
90s,
we used to buy
90s.
all that crap, and now you don't even know who the hell these characters are.
I know. I couldn't even tell you the character's name.
Like, I know that's some kind of a samurai spawn.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that guy. See, I got rid of all my toys. I don't really have many toys anymore. I'm trying to think if there's any other. I mean, I see a lot of shit I used to have.
Yes, so I don't.
I had the Cygor.
I can't remember to tell you. Oh, yeah, Cygor over there.
That dragon I had.
Yeah, see Cygor over there in the corner?
Sort of like the bionic King Kong.
Yeah, Cyborg Gorilla, King Kong.
Almost looks like you got two of them. There's another one here.
But yeah, no name to that. But it is a cool looking figure. That's for darn sure. I love it. Let's see. Cody Jarrett was a hell of a film actor. Absolutely, positively nuts. Haddonfield 1988 says, I like to hear you guys, Dino. Great to hear nice Northeast Ohio accent on YouTube. Yeah, and that trips me out every time I hear it.
We don't have an accent.
We don't have an accent.
Perfect English.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it's code outside.
Except for code.
It's code outside. No, but we have an accent, and I don't notice it because
I know when I go visit my relatives in West Virginia, I thought there was a girl that thought we were all hoity-toity because, we didn't say, you didn't say, like, I'm going there. You're like, they'd be like, I'm going there. And I would say, I'm going there. Like, oh, I.
Oh, well, excuse me for speaking proper.
Or, pen sounds like pin. Give me a pin.
Give me a pin. Yeah. A pin. Yeah, that's a southern thing. Give me a
just
pin.
Different flavors of the same thing.
Oh,
that's okay.
Got any questions? Feel free before we end this and I get ready for tonight's The Lineup. Great show tonight.
I'm in the lineup.
But you know what? To round this movie out, a pretty damn good movie. Not the best, but a lot of elements in this movie that, make you go.
When I sent you that trailer, I thought for sure he's going to go gaga for this.
It's like pushing your face in everything we love. So it's like, how can you not like the movie? I am going to admit, I didn't love the movie. But I liked the movie. Out of 10, I would probably give this movie a 6 out of 10.
All right. Fair enough. And you probably would like it more if you watched it again later on.
Yeah.
Like I probably watched it.
And if I watched it
well
with you,
over a year ago.
Probably even way more.
It just came out on a Blu-ray within the last year. And I watched it before the Blu-ray came out. So... And I don't even know why I watch it. Sometimes I watch these movies and I have no idea how I even found out about these movies.
He meant on the top shelf above Ted's head.
Oh. Maybe up here? I don't know. There's all kinds of...
There's
Dr. Zaius.
Planet of the Apes up there. Are you talking about Planet of the Apes? Dr. Zaius?
There's
that's the only
Gorilla
other...
Soldier, Dr. Zaius, and Cornelius. And
that's the only other thing.
The lizard dude from Star Trek. Those are the big ones up there.
Yeah. Pretty close, Dino. I give it a 7, says Edward Stewart.
Yeah, see?
You know what, Ed? Let me just throw this out there.
Flick.
First of all, if anybody does join the channel, which is kind of a cool thing, there's a Discord group. Mm-hmm. Okay? So it's a secret group that, people share their pictures, talk amongst each other during the day before the shows at night and stuff like that. And Ed Stewart in here, he posts a bunch of his stuff. He's got VHSs of every movie we've done. I mean, he'll throw up pictures of it. Some Fangoria pictures because he's got all the main. I think Ed's held on to just about everything, and I would love. Ed, you know what I'd like to do one of these days? I'd like you to grab a hold of some of your more obscure horror VHS copies, and we'll work out the ways to get you on here with me.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But I would love to have you come on via Skype or whatever. Video. You did it the one time. Just be ready for it. We'll talk in advance. I'll talk to you. But pick out some of your obscure VHS tapes, and we'll just talk about the movie. Mm-hmm. And see the VHS. I would love to do that.
Yeah. Don't even have to be horror, whatever.
Classic VHS, man. But I'll talk to you about that, though. I think that would be a very cool thing to do. While I never pay much attention to the Ohio accent, the nasally West Coast farmer drawl is what I have. So yeah. So I hope that's what you were looking at. Yeah, the one right above Ted by the Planet of the Apes, Dr. Cornelius. Thanks for the info. Okay, yeah. So that was it. Okay, yeah. He's the smaller figure down on there, and then Predator is next to it. If you can see, Predator, Yojimbo,
Usagi Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Some lame elephant.
And then all of the figures I can't
Treebeard.
put out yet. I mean, I've got Cornelius down there underneath the table.
There's a Cornelius
But,
on every table.
What a privilege. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, Ed. You know your stuff, man. I would love to sit and chat and do that. That would make kind of for a cool show. Let's see. Dave Plufay. Movie gets a 6. Review gets a 10. You know, gotta love you, Dave.
Gotta love when the review's better than the movie, huh?
Well, hey, Dave's been there from the beginning, Ted.
We've done commentaries that have been longer than the movie.
Dave Plufay, he's been there from the start, man, and hopefully
It's a good flick. I think I might pick this Blu-ray up at some point.
Yeah,
I think it's just something that I would want to watch again.
yeah, lots of bits and pieces in there.
Just the old movies, and just the fact that if you don't love the old movies and have seen them, it's like being in a club.
Yeah, and
you don't enjoy the movie as much if
Yeah.
you haven't seen those films.
And I tell you, don't be scared of anything new like that, like the Discord. It seems very techie and stuff like that. But it's just, I put a link out there for the channel members and for the Patreon. It's a link that you just got to click, and it takes you right into the group. It's as easy as that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's complicated things you can do within Discord, but it's very easy, very simple, very easy to do. Let's see. Anything else? Dino, where did you get that Bride of Frankie boy?
Oh, behind it?
The Dow?
Maybe.
Probably
talking about this big
the
back
big
there.
Bride. Just off Amazon. I would have liked it to be like the original characters, but
you paid a bit more for that.
Yeah, it's but I like the big one. Yeah, I like that. So, and my Dow, is my Dow out of the Bride? Do I not got Frankenstein and the Dow out?
Maybe not. They used to.
I guess not. I've got the Dow, like the Planet of the Apes up there. I've got the Dow of Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein
Here somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess another box that's hidden in yet, so I got to get that out yet too. Sinead is on Discord all the time. Oh yeah, she is. Sinead, love ya. You're awesome, man. She's such a sweet girl. She was at Be a Sweetie's Candy Company. She's in the area.
Oh, yeah.
So many great people, man.
I love that store.
Yes, I love Discord.
A place where I can buy moon pies.
But gotta keep it. Yeah, Ed, don't ever drop it, man. Even if hey, I'm finding out in the world of YouTube. Yeah, I've always known this, but it's nice to have this big giant group of family. I call you guys family.
I don't mean we want you to come over our house.
In the YouTube universe, you guys are family, and people come and people go. Some diehards that you see that are there all the time end up leaving, and it's just part of life. I understand that. It hurts me sometimes because you get a kind of a real close bond with some of these people, even in the chat. It sounds weird, but you do, and then they just disappear sometimes, and you don't see them no more. And I'm just like going, damn. Hopefully everything's all right. There's a couple of you out there. I tried reaching out. Hopefully you guys are okay. But yeah, it's what are you gonna do? That's all part of YouTube. Brooke, 116 today. This is ridiculous. It was 94.
Where's she at?
Over here. I'm not sure where you're at, Brooke.
Oh, it's.
Hey, just getting on. What's
Hope
up,
it's a dry heat.
Hot Toddy, do you always keep Ed under a red Krypton light just so Ted, so he doesn't go all bizarro on the toys? Yeah, I like to keep
He's
him.
purposely trying to. He claims
I like
air
to keep
conditioning was supposed to be coming on, but
It's on. Yeah, you guys should hear it in the
I can
microphone.
feel it blowing on me in my house.
Bizarro Ted with the Superman shirt. Bizarro Superman.
Got a red light here, a light blue one here, and a dark blue one here. I'm blinded.
I love the lights. I can't help
When I
it.
walk out of here, I just see these 3 squares.
The lights add to the atmosphere. I know it might be a little too much red on Ted. Maybe I'll tone down the light over there.
You're
for
the
you.
expert on the lights here, man.
You can't look right at it. You got to look at the camera.
I
right
gotta
there.
look over here.
But, let's see. Bride of Frankenstein is in front of Ted. Oh, those are the figures. But I've got the dowels.
Like a little 12-incher.
Yeah, there's little 12-inch dowels.
She used to be on the old table.
Yeah, nice to see you, hot toddy. Let's see. Anything else? I'm family cool. Can I borrow the car? Says RTN. If you were close by, I'd,
Not my car.
Michael Mallet, what is going on?
I got my
Jeez.
mirrors exactly the way I like them.
I haven't seen Michael Mallet in forever. Geez, it was cooler than it was here. I had 100 degree about 1 p.m. here. Yeah. And don't get me started on trivia night, Dave Plouffe. Yeah. I keep saying, let's hope this is the weekend that I do it.
It's all talk.
Psycho is what I'll start off with. I was going to start off with Jaws, but me and Ezra is going to talk on Thursday, Jaws, 4th of July weekend.
Mm-hmm. It works.
Yeah, so it works. But Psycho, hopefully Saturday. I want to do the trivia night this Saturday for Psycho. So Dave, keep a lookout for that. I think it would be so much fun with you guys. And I have another idea that I'm going to do. We dropped them all. Let's get going.
We're dropping like flies. We're done.
Got to get ready for the lineup at 11 o'clock. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. We've blown our wind about an hour like we always do. Wish I could do a 2-hour show. We could go on and on here. This is kind of a good format. We get everything in about an hour, and it's pretty cool. It's funny. We did the fried berry last Thursday with Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
I heard. But the director got a hold of us via email.
Huh.
And
or did you take the video down?
No, he loved it and said, if you ever want me on to discuss the movie and talk about it, because I went off on the movie a little bit on the character and stuff, but I did see that he was reached out, I think, to just about every YouTube out there channel.
So he probably didn't watch it. He probably just saw that it mentioned his movie in it.
And it was there was a channel with, I think, 50 views, and I mean, for somebody who direct produced and this was his movie, he's jumping on. He don't care if he gets 2 views on a video, I guess.
Hey.
But it was.
You got to put asses in seats somehow.
For me, it was too tripped out. For Ezra, she said it was her new favorite movie. So, goes to show you how different people are,
what you
man.
gonna do?
It is.
Am I going to watch it?
No, I don't.
I only watch old movies.
What misery? No, I'm just joking. No,
I only watch old movies.
It was fun to talk about, but in fact, Dino is right. Very nice group of folks, and anyone, if you'd welcome by my home or by you, a bear, everyone, Schultze. Yeah, Schultze, where are you again? I don't know why, for some reason, I thought you were in Australia, but you're not. You must be on the West Coast.
I'm on Lincoln Avenue.
I'm over in the, So tell me real quick if you can, and then I'll take off. Edward Stewart, 4th of July will be 3 years since my pops passed, but I'm trying.
Man.
Edward Stewart, yeah.
Sucks when it happens on a holiday.
He's having a rough go of it, Ed. I get it, man. When something coincides with a holiday, you just tend to just not enjoy the holiday.
You should enjoy the holiday for him.
For him,
he's not there, but he's there.
He would have liked you to enjoy yourself,
exactly.
even though emotions you can't help having them come out. But you got a place.
Good.
You got a place here, Ed, that can take your mind off things at times. So that's why I said don't get off Discord, don't get discouraged. I understand July's a rough month for you, but we're here every night. You got all these friends and families. So you got that. So much love to you, Ed, and hope you feel better, bud. Washington by the Boeing plant, says Schultze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on very West Coast up northwest.
About as west as you can get.
Yeah, any flying saucers or Bigfoot up there, Schultze? We'll save that for another day.
The government's admitting to it now.
Yeah, right?
I don't know if they said anything about Bigfoot yet.
Well, yeah. But there you go, you guys. Not much more to say, so I will let you guys go. Let me get that up there. I will set the stream for the lineup in a little bit and say goodbye to my good friend Ted. And
goodbye to my good friend Ted.
We will see you guys next week.